Today we'll be looking at a shooter for the Saturn called Soukyugurentai. Now this was developed by Rising and published by Electronic Arts back in 1996. And this was originally a Sega STV arcade title, and then later on was ported over to the Japanese Saturn. And there was supposed to be an American release called Terra Diver, but it never came to be. Although if you let the game sit for a minute, you can see a loading screen that says Terra Diver on it. And in this one you get 3 different characters to select from, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Main differences are the web laser, which I'll get to in a minute. And one interesting thing about this game right off the bat is most arcade titles, and especially shoot-em-ups, went for a more vertical display. And this one used the standard, well, back then at least, 4:3 display. So like most shoot-em-ups, you have your primary weapon, which, you use by hitting the fire button. And then if things get really hairy, you can hit a bomb, which will clear most of the enemies off the screen. How this game is a little bit different is, if you hold down the fire button, it actually doesn't rapid fire. What it does is charge up a web laser, and you'll see like a targeting area display in front of your ship. And then when you release that, it will shoot a laser out and destroy most of the enemies, or do significant damage to them. And each character does have 2 different web lasers to choose from. One of them has a really annoying random one which just flies all over the screen, and it's really hard to use. So you actually cannot hold the fire button to rapid fire. You do that by, just mashing the fire button actually, which is okay because the rate of fire is actually very good. It's not like an NES or Atari 2600 shooter where you have like 1 or 2 bullets per screen. And of course your primary weapon can be powered up as well. And something I really love about this game is they are very, very generous with power-ups. I've played some crappy shooters like Iridian 3D where you start off with a little pea shooter and they only give you like 3 or 4 power-ups per level. This one, you'll be seeing power-ups about every 10 to 15 seconds. Now you may have noticed by now all these bits of gobbledygook that appear on the screen. That is actually Japanese text that the Action Replay can't handle on the US or PAL Saturns. They did release a patch version later on which fixes this problem, but it really doesn't get in the way of gameplay at all. The gameplay is just really, really fun in this one. It is extremely challenging. I thought Galactic Attack was hard, but that game is easy compared to this one. This one will be constantly testing your reflexes and your ability to avoid bullets and all that. And graphically the game is really gorgeous, uses a lot of 2D sprites. There are some 3D polygons that show up from time to time, but they tend to blend in well with the environments. Now when you get to stage 3, you're flying over these clouds, and you hear this music that's very reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics. And that would be because the music was done by Final Fantasy Tactics composer Hitoshi Sakamoto. And the soundtrack is very well done. It enhances the action quite nicely. And in addition to that, the game has some great sound effects. I really love the warning signal for all the bosses. So besides the minor annoyance with the Japanese text on screen, there's really not much bad I can say about this game. It's an excellent shooter, great graphics, great sound, really challenging but fun gameplay. And if you thought a game like Galactic Attack was too easy, definitely give this game a look.